Hi everybody, this is Jen and I am here with the ASC Design Team project, and I am going to play with my Lavinia stamps a little bit. So I have some pretty old stamps, but you can do this with any of the stamp sets. I got some foliage. This one in particular is called Lavender. I have the foliage set, and that's what that's called. And then I have a wildflower. So we're going to play with some foliage. And then also one of my favorites are the foxes. I'm gonna repackage them in containers here after I get done playing. Where's the other fox? There he is. So this one is Colonel and this one is Rufus. So fun. Actually, is that? So what I did was I have some templates here that I just rough cut out of some cardstock, and I have several of them. So I have some circles for moons and suns. I have some different just hand cut. I have one that is the moon, so it's like the opposite. And yeah, there's another one. So lots of different hand cut templates. You don't need a lot of, stuff to get started on your Lavinia journey. You just need some basic stuff. Yep, just hand cut these out. So hand cut or ripped, however you want to say it. So I have this blue here for the sky, and this is Distress Ink. The color is Peacock Feathers, and I think I am going to add a moon, and we'll try to not get some on the bottom. So I just got a blue sponge on my, and it's an old sponge. It's already giving me fits. I'm going to take this off for now because I'm going to focus on getting around the circle here. And there's so many different ways you can do this. You can use watercolors. You can use pastels. I have pan pastels that I've used in the past. And I'm going to have to try and get all these little bits off of here without getting it all over my moon. Okay, close. Okay, and then I'm throwing this thing away right now. He is too old to use. Okay. I have a green, which is Mowed Lawn. And I'm going to put maybe this Craggy Hill template here. You can use different greens. That, and then I'll use it, like I said, these are I just ripped these. We're going to use the same green. Okay. I may put just a little bit more color over this hill. Okay, And I'm not worried too much about it blending in because we're going to cover a lot of it with the stamps. So okay, I have my stamping platform because I know if I don't use it, I will ruin it. And we're going to start with some foliage, and I'm going to use the gray that I picked. It is the VersaFine Gray. And if it were, I have some smaller ones that I would just hand stamp, but since this has to kind of be straight, we're going to use I have it on the wrong side. That's why it's not stamping. Alright. So I think we'll just do like a cluster of these. I'll move it up a little bit. Do one here. And one more over here. Alright. There's that. And then I'm going to do a couple of these down here at the bottom. And also I'm going to put, let's see here, that's that one. This is the opposite one here. Maybe, yeah. I'm going to kind of put this here. And it matches the I could tape that, but I'm not horribly worried about it. And I think what I'll do is I'll go in again with my green. And if it's not perfect, it's fine. This is just background. Okay. I'm going to go back in with the gray for these guys. And this is just background. You're not going to... It's not going to be in your face. Because your main image is going to be the fox. Okay, there's him. And then going in with the lavender. that looks good. Okay. And then we're going to get our main image, and I don't know if I want to use the fox or the wolf. We'll use the fox, I suppose. And this is Rufus. I wanted to package. I'm pretty sure I have a fox and a wolf here. Okay, and he is going to be right here in the middle. I am going to dull this moon down a little bit. So we're just going to tap the squeezed lemonade, tap it off, and then just circle. I want to give that moon just a little less white. But I don't want it yellow either. You can go in and add, I have a stencil that actually makes the moon, like moon has moon shapes on it, but this time we're not going to bother with that because this is just a quick note card. Okay, now we're going to position our fox. Here in the foreground. He is up front and center. And I'm going to use the black VersaFine. I'm going to make sure he's inked up real good. And straight down. We're going to push him down for a minute. Sorry, I'm off screen. There we go. This is why I use my platform. I envy those people who can just stamp and it just works. And a little bit of the, I guess, inconsistency in the stamping is from the ink. And I got a little bit of a double image there. Unfortunately, my paper moved. That's the entire reason. I should have put it in the corner and I didn't. The entire reason why I use the stamp platform. But we're going to roll with it because I'm not starting over at this point. I have here a black marker. We're just going to go over some of these faded areas. Okay, and then I have a white gel pen. I'm going to go under his muzzle here. I'm going to highlight. Alright, and then we're going to add just a tiny bit with some dots. And then I'm going to add a tiny bit of gray right under him. Fresh blender here. And get it off of my and he did double stamp, but I'm okay with that. So there he is. Then I have some cutouts here, and I just made each one a little smaller than the other, and I just used scrap paper, and I found what matched the best. And I'm telling you, when I say just a tiny bit smaller, it is just a tiny bit smaller. Like there is just barely a 1/16 sticking out there. There frames it. This one is white with a little bit of blue. Again, it was in my stash. I just have all my scrap paper I cut up into card base size, or smaller, depending on the size of the scrap. My cutter. Okay, I got this blue piece. And now I'm thinking I want to add like just a note or something right in the middle of that moon. I think that would be cute. There you go. And I have more scrap, so I may put some on the inside. And then I think let's add some of this lavender to the inside. Let me see if I can find. I have lots of this. For a smooth paper, because that one was not a smooth paper. I have these acrylic pins or acrylic markers. I'm going to add some dots. There we go.